Last time on Total Drama Random Island, Courtney was able to get Anne, Maria, and Dakota to agree to work together despite hating each other. Beardo and Sadie got closer together. Noah created a guys' alliance to try and counter the girls' alliance. In the end, a majority of the campers had immunity, and with no easy options, the guys chose to vote for Dakota while the girls had to vote for Beardo. It would have been a tie if not for Noah, who went behind his group's back to vote Beardo off due to his loyalty not being confirmed. It's now the final 10. Who will be eliminated? Find out now on Total Drama Random Island. Noah asks Courtney what the plan is now, and Courtney says she was thinking of getting rid of Damien. Noah says, now hold on, I got rid of one of mine first. It's only fair you get rid of one of yours now. Courtney says, fine, I'll think about who is the most expendable member. Courtney in confessional says she really doesn't like having to take orders from Noah, but it's better than the other three guys thinking they're in danger and as a result try and form alliances in desperation. That could totally ruin her game. She just needs them to think they're safe before she disposes of them. Chris comes over the loudspeaker and tells the campers to report to the Arts and Crafts Center for their next challenge. Welcome to the Arts and Crafts Center. Courtney says, really? This is it? Chris says, yeah, it used to be an outhouse, but now it's where Chef parks his roadhog. Chris kicks the door down to show off Chef's bike and the guys marvel at it. Lorenzo says that he was gonna get a bike just like that once his six-pack started to show. Which brings us to your challenge, building your own wheels. Sam says, yes, this is just like my favorite racing games back home. He's gonna nail this challenge. You'll find all the parts you need in our bike depot. Noah says, oh great, another challenge that starts off promising and then your budget restrictions rear their ugly heads and make us suffer. Once you've collected the basics, trick them out any way you want using props from the Arts and Crafts Center. Best design wins, and to prove I'm a nice guy, I'll even throw in a bike manual. Courtney says, ew, it's furry, and Priya says, cool, who knows how long this has been here. Damien says, probably longer than us judging by the accumulation of mold and the density of it. Lorenzo asks Sam if this part would look good, and Sam says it's not about what looks good, it's about the stats of the bike. Anne Maria says typical dudes, only caring about it going fast and not about the looks. It doesn't matter how fast your pile of junk can go if it doesn't look nice. Tyler asks Damien what this piece is, and Damien says, dude, that's one of the pedals. Tyler says, right, I just didn't ride many bikes back home. Dakota says, yeah, me neither. What is this weird circular thing? Noah says, that's the wheel, genius. That's the thing that allows you to move your bike. Priya asks Sadie what she thinks about this challenge, and Sadie says, what? Oh yeah, the challenge. It's cool, I guess. Tyler asks if she's okay, and Sadie says, yeah, I'm great. Lorenzo says, really? Because it looks like you've been crying for the past 12 hours. Sadie yells back that she misses Beardo before running away crying. Courtney in confessional says Sadie needs to be kept in the game. Her head isn't in here, so she's an easy one to beat. But how can I win this challenge? Oh, I know. Courtney asks Sam if they can chat for a second, and Sam says sure. Courtney tells Sam to listen. She knows of an alliance that's trying to get rid of Dakota. If Sam builds her bike for her, she will do everything in her power to make sure Dakota doesn't leave. Sam says, really? You're the best. I'll build the ultimate bike for you. Sam says in confessional that he doesn't really like Courtney all that much, but if she can make sure Dakota doesn't leave, that's entirely worth it. Campers, time to put your pedal to the metal and meet me back at the craft center so I can judge your bike. Well, campers, we gave you the parts. Let's see what you came up with. Excellent aerodynamics, Courtney. Spooky, yet practical. Well done, Sam. Sam says that the wings are gonna make my braking a bit easier. Chris says, of course. Next up, Wicked Mad Max Mobile, Damien. Hey, where's Sadie? Oh well, they're lost because this is where it gets good. We're gonna race these babies. Courtney says, oh yes, this is perfect. She can taste the immunity already. Chris says, unfortunately, you won't be riding it, Courtney. You'll be switching bikes. Lorenzo says, dude, that's so lame. I put major effort into mine. I even added a button to make sure I won. Chris says, yeah, cruel twist, huh? Alrighty then, see you at the beach. Alright, campers, everyone will pull a name out of the helmet to determine whose bike you're riding. If your bike passes the finish line, then you will compete in the final round for immunity. Tyler says, hey, Courtney, I got your bike. Courtney says, good, make sure to win with it so I can compete for invincibility next round. Damien says, hey Dakota, how did your bike turn out? Dakota says, it went really well. I couldn't figure out what the small things were for, but hey, they were probably spare parts. Damien asks, what small things? You mean the bolts? Dakota says, yeah, the bolts. Chris says, alright campers, on your marks, get set, go. They all start riding and Dakota asks what the button does and Lorenzo says to go ahead and push it, she'll be sure to win with it. Dakota does so and the bike falls apart. Dakota asks how that was supposed to help, and Lorenzo says it was supposed to eject you to the finish line, not fall apart. Courtney tells Lorenzo good job for creating a bike worse than Dakota's. Damien wipes out after Dakota's bike falls apart, and it takes out Anne-Maria, who is riding Noah's bike. Anne-Maria asks why Damien has to ruin her chances every time. Damien asks if she remembers episode 1, it was her who ruined his chances, now they're even if anything. Courtney says that she's actually impressed with Anne-Maria for once. This bike is actually made with high quality, that's a new feeling to feel towards her for sure. She passes the finish line as well as Tyler, Priya, Sam, and Noah. Lorenzo is about to make it, but a rock on the course sends him flying off his bike and he loses as a result. Priya says, wow, nice going Lorenzo, couldn't let me advance to the next round now could you? Lorenzo says it wasn't his fault, the rock got in his way, and besides he's not competing in the next round either. Courtney says that it's understandable considering you're keeping the idol from Boney Island in your possession at all times, you're just cursed to lose forever. Chris tells the 5 congratulations for making it, it's time to head to the TDI motocross. Welcome to the Motocross Challenge. Using your own bikes, you'll race the course, avoiding hidden pitfalls, there's dodging the landmines, maneuvering through the oil slick, and finally jumping the piranhas. Oh, and one more thing, first one to cross wins immunity, last one to cross gets eliminated. No bonfire, do not pass go, do not collect a marshmallow. Courtney tells Sam to listen here, she needs him to show her how to do this so he will lead the way and then she will win immunity at the end when Sam slows down to allow her to win. Sam asks why he can't win, and Courtney asks if he wants to keep Dakota safe or not. Face it, Damien, Anne-Maria, or Tyler have no chance of beating you. Racers, take your positions and go. The campers start going and Tyler says now that he's gone through one course, this next one will be easy, right before hitting a landmine. Damien tells Anne-Maria to eat his dust and Anne-Maria says to eat hers before kicking Damien's bike, causing him to wipe out right before Anne-Maria wipes out in the oil slick. Sam stops at the end and Courtney is able to speed past Sam to get immunity and Sam goes in next. And we have our winner, Courtney. Sam says, yeah, we did it, we're safe. Chris says that's not exactly true. Courtney is safe since her bike crossed first, but since Damien, Tyler, and Anne-Maria all wiped out and didn't complete the race, they technically didn't cross the line at all, which makes you the last one to cross, which means you're out. Sam says, what? But I got second place. Chris says, well, Courtney could give you her invincibility and then we'll have a normal vote. Courtney? Courtney says, I'm good, Chris. Sam says, what? But that means I'll be eliminated. Courtney says, hey, you said all you wanted was for Dakota not to leave. You never said anything about yourself. Sam says, but I gave you the win. I helped you throughout the entire challenge. Don't you appreciate that? Courtney says, oh, I do. But you see, you've made yourself out to be a threat by showing that, so I'd rather ditch you now while I have the chance. No hard feelings. Sam says, wow. And here I thought you were cool, but in reality, you're the biggest villain here. You're a total. Chris says, whoa, this is a PG-13 show, let's not up that rating. Sam, it's time to go. Dakota asks if Sam is really going and Sam says that it's okay, I'll still text you. Lorenzo says that it sucks to see him go, especially when he deserved to win. Sam says that it's alright, I was mad at first but I got way farther than I thought. Final 10, isn't that crazy? I may not have won, but I got the woman of my dreams and I got food poisoning from chef's food. What more could I ask for? Noah says $1 million and Sam says, I'll have another chance eventually in my life. And that's that for Random Island episode 16. What did you think? Question of the week. Would you rather join Noah's alliance or Courtney's alliance? Leave your thoughts in the comments below and I'll see you all next time on Total Drama Random Island.